Hey everybody, we are talking about the law and perfection. Now, we've already pretty much come to the conclusion that none of us are perfect, right? None of us are able to keep the law of the Bible. So why in the world does the law exist? Why did God put it in place? So let's talk about what the law is. The law is the direction or the instruction given in the Bible by God. So God set this in place, set these rules in place to give us direction and instruction on how to live life. But if we aren't perfect and we can't keep the law perfectly, then why does it exist? Why is it there? What is the purpose of the law of the Bible? I'm going to read you a verse out of Romans. So Romans 3:20, it says, "For by works of the law, no human being will be justified in his sight, since through the law comes knowledge of sin." I'm going to read this again and kind of take it apart a little bit for you. So, for by works, so the things that we do, for by works of the law, no human being will be justified in his sight. In other words, when we look at our hearts and we look at the way we live life, and then we compare it to the law, we can't be justified, right? Because our lives, we mess up all the time. And then it says, since through the law comes knowledge of sin. We look at the law, we realize the sin in our life because it is written there. So the law, the rules set by God, exists so that we understand the will of God and we understand His holiness. It kind of puts that in perspective. We see these things and we say, wow, this is so unattainable. How can I ever reach this? But then we understand that Jesus already reaches those things. So it makes us understand how holy He is. But it, on the flip side, shows us how bad we can be and how sinful our hearts are. Right? We look at all the things that we've done and we compare them to what Jesus is able to achieve, and we're like, this is impossible. How am I ever supposed to complete all of this list of rules? How am I ever supposed to live this way? And that's where Jesus comes in. So the law also points us towards running to God. We realize the sin in our lives and we realize how bad we've been. And it points us directly to a perfect God that can really make us clean and make us perfect in His sight, as you've heard maybe before. So it points us to running to God and saying, you know what? I can't do this on my own. I'm never going to be able to achieve all of this. I need you in my life. And He gives us the gift of salvation. So then, after we are saved, the law kind of flips a little bit. It then turns into a guide on how to live our life as a Christian. We live our lives in a way that is worthy of our Savior. We glorify Him through our life. We've talked about the word glorifying. It's pointing everything in our life back towards Jesus. So the law becomes this roadmap, in a sense, of how to glorify God in our life. So rather than looking at the law and saying, this is how horrible I am, this is how bad I am, when you become a Christian, it then shifts to saying, man, look at how good Jesus is, and I'm going to live my life in a way that points directly to that goodness. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you guys later.